Hey class, we're doing Strengthening Germany in the late 1800s to early 1900s, and this is by Shuvani and Anika. Have fun watching! As you listen and watch this video, don't forget to fill in the blanks and bullet points throughout our brochure. This will help greatly once you review for later tests.
A short video will now be shown in order to give viewers a better understanding of the circumstances in which this section was set in.
Hi, I'm Jade, and today with About.com we're going to discuss the Franco-Prussian War. From July 19, 1870 to May 10, 1871, France and the Kingdom of Prussia, which was aided by the North German Confederation and the South German states, fought a war that led to the establishment of the German Empire. Though fought under the guise of disputes regarding the potential crowning of Leopold, Prince of Hohenzollern, to the Spanish throne, the war is generally attributed to the political ambition of Otto Bismarck. Tensions between France and Germany had been high since Germany's loss during the Napoleonic Wars. Seeing a chance to capitalize on this long-standing grudge to bring about the unification of Germany, Otto Bismarck backed the crowning of Leopold in Spain in opposition of France, and published an edited conversation between King Wilhelm of Prussia and the French ambassador to Prussia, which appeared insulting to each country. Napoleon III, Emperor of France, declared war on Prussia. As Bismarck had hoped, the French aggression brought the German states together alongside the Prussian army. The war was short, with a clear Prussian-German victory. Though the fighting lasted for months, Napoleon III and his army were captured following their surrender at the Battle of Sedan on September 2, 1870. Hearing of his capture, the French overthrew the Second French Empire and instated the Third French Republic. There were negotiations to end the war, but they failed because France saw Bismarck's terms as too severe. This led to further fighting and the fall of Paris on January 20, 1871. France unsuccessfully attempted to unify armies through the country and ultimately signed the Treaty of Frankfurt on May 10, 1871, agreeing to give the German Empire Alsace-Lorraine and to pay a war indemnity of 5 billion francs. The most notable outcome of the war occurred prior to its end. On January 18, 1871, the outstanding southern German states unified with the North German Confederation, creating the German Empire, led by the King of Prussia. With this, Germany became the largest power in Europe.
On February 1, 1871, the German and Prussian forces promptly ended the reign of Napoleon III and the ruling of the French Empire, when the National Defense ordered a ceasefire across France, surrendering to Prussia and the German forces. As Chancellor Bismarck once said, "I have seen 3 emperors in their nakedness, and the sight was not inspiring." By this time, Germany had acquired a strong alliance with Prussia and a strong feeling for nationalism because of ideas such as liberalism and the Romantic movement, which went against Enlightenment rationalism. The German princes proclaimed there that the rule of Louis XIV had ended, and William I and Chancellor Bismarck was now to rule. In January 1871, German princes gathered in the Hall of Mirrors in the Versailles Palace to proclaim the French rule defeated, and the German rule beginning. Their symbolism of choosing the palace was clear to all.
This painting was originally created by Anton von Werner in 1877 and called The Proclamation of the German Empire. In it, German leaders have met in the Palace of Versailles to proclaim William I Emperor of Germany. Here, William is standing on the podium, and his Chancellor Otto von Bismarck is in the center, wearing a white jacket. It signifies the importance of military in Germany, as everyone is wearing military jackets, and the central role of Bismarck, who is standing in the center of the painting.
William I and Chancellor Otto von Bismarck was now the power in Europe.
This is a painting called Kaiser Wilhelm I and Bismarck in Conversation and was created in 1887 by the artist Konrad von Simonroth. It shows Wilhelm, or William I, and Bismarck talking in Wilhelm's corner office in the royal palace. where they often met to discuss state policies.
With this, Germany started to become a worldwide known power. Whether to some it was an army power, their rule, or the fact that Germany, within their stand for unification, had brought on an industrial giant. Germany in the 1880s established chemical and electrical industries known worldwide, and German shipping by that time had almost doubled with the Spanish, just above them with their larger steam tonnage. By 1914, Germany had outstripped all nations, including Spain, and was second to Britain with the steam tonnage. German success in shipping was partly because of their ample supply in iron and coal resources, which was the basics to industrial development, and the soon-to-become industrial giant. The workforce of Germany held much of Germany's secret of rising. The workforce was skilled, educated, disciplined, and loyal. This was believed to be helped by the feel of nationalism that was created during Germany's unification. German industrialists was the first throughout Europe to see the power of applied science in the industries. This led to new products being made within German companies, such as synthetic chemicals and dyes. Scientific colleges, universities, and higher positions were set in place to encourage the solving of technical problems within factories and the development of more goods. In that same year that Germans proclaimed their power to Europe, they issued a currency with the face of William I in the center of the gold coin. This currency was recognized by the banking system and set a lot of the new railroads in motion. The economic strength and military power that Germany acquired through the 1800s was determined to stay in Germany, with its new currency, the industrial giant, and its military force. You could almost hear Chancellor Bismarck proclaim, "A government must not waver once its course has been chosen. It must not look left or right, but go forward." This brings us to the story of the Iron Chancellor. Otto von Bismarck was chosen and elected to be Chancellor along William's side, but he quickly dominated the rule by being charming and witty. One of the Iron Chancellor's many goals was to keep French power to a minimum and build strong links with Russia. Within this time period, Chancellor Bismarck once remarked, "The secret of politics, you ask? Make a good treaty with Russia." But Bismarck was not naive. He respected the British naval forces and did not compete for power, as he quoted, "Water rats do not fight with land rats." Though that did not stop him from competing against Britain for overseas empires. He wanted absolute imperial reign, without any loyalties or opposition, and so he took the same methods of the ruthlessness that he used for the unification of Germany and applied them here. He targeted two groups, the Catholic Church and the Socialists. Bismarck launched a campaign called Kampf der Kampf, Battle for Civilization. Bismarck was Lutheran and distrusted the Catholics that made up a third of the population. As he believed, their first loyalty laid with the Pope, especially when it came to the clergy.
In this political cartoon, Bismarck and Pope Pio IX are playing chess. The caption says, "I have another very nice move in reserve." That will be your last one. Then it will be checkmate in a few moves, at least for Germany. It was created in 1875 and called Between Berlin and Rome. It signifies the strategic and competitive partnership between Bismarck and the Church.
This would not do, in Bismarck's opinion. He passed laws that would enforce loyalty and allegiance towards the state and not the Church. One of Bismarck's famous sayings is, "Laws are like sausages. It's better not to see them being made." He put supervision on Catholic education and made laws that had to approve priests before they could take stand. He made sure married couples were married by civil authority and Jesuits were ultimately expelled from Prussia. But to no avail. The faithful rallied behind the Church, and as realist, Bismarck quickly made peace with the Church. though not before the Church gained strength in the Reichstag. Bismarck's campaign against socialists was only partly successful, but by no means a huge difference in society.
This is a woodcut which was created in 1872 and called Socialists on Trial for Treason. It shows a meeting of socialists. In it, three of the most well-known socialists of the time are shown. The first, Wilhelm Liebknecht, is the one standing up and addressing the court, and the other two as well, discussing something behind him, Adolf Hippner and August Bebel.
In the 1870s, Marxist and Lassalle branches of the social government organized the Social Democratic Party, which called for a parliamentary democracy and laws to improve the conditions for the working class. Their leaders were August Bebel and William Liebknecht, who were still in contact with Marx, who died in 1890. These leaders were quite powerful, and to Bismarck this was a threat to the loyalty of his working class. So again, to no avail, Bismarck passed the laws that eliminated the socialist groups, their newspapers, and their gatherings. But this time Bismarck did not give up. Rather, he changed tactics. He began to sympathize and woo the workers, drawing them away from the socialists with laws that protected their health, accident insurance, and old age insurance. This was all said and done by the late 1890s. Germany began to be the example other nations would follow for the pioneering of social reform. Bismarck's move for social reform saved Germany from another revolution, but it did not completely turn the workers against socialism. The Democratic Party still held much of the seats in the Reichstag. A confident new Kaiser took the throne in 1888, named William II. Succeeding his grandfather, William I, though he was not much like his grandfather in terms of ruling. Instead of ruling almost under the Iron Chancellor like William I did, William II asked the Chancellor to resign, claiming that he had divine right to rule. When he took throne, he quoted, "There is only one master in reign, and that is I. My grandfather considered that the office of king was a task that God had assigned to him. That which he thought, I also think. Those who wish to aid me in that task, I welcome with all my heart. Those who oppose me in this work, I shall crush."
This is a photo of William, or Kaiser Wilhelm II, walking alongside and addressing his troops in the year 1914.
Kaiser William II was ambitious with campaigns to expand the German navy and win territories overseas, such as Britain and France. With this, most of his funds went to the already powerful military machine of Europe, much like his grandfather in his interest for the military. However, Kaiser William II knew the importance of a happy nation, so he provided services, social welfare, inexpensive transportation, and electricity to all. Like his grandfather, he also knew the importance of schooling, so he built public schools which taught obedience and encouraged military. By the start of World War I, nationalism and unification was strong within the borders of Germany.
Created by Anton von Werner, this painting was called the Berlin Congress Final Session 13 July 1871 and was created in 1881. It displays Otto von Bismarck shaking hands with a Russian envoy during a meeting of the Berlin Congress. The Berlin Congress was a set of conferences which laid down the rules for the European conquest of Africa, which would take place over the next 15 years.
All of these things that German leaders have done for Germany was to help unify, strengthen, and bring Germany up to the #1 power of Europe. And that is how our story ends and another begins. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a good day.